All right, y'all. We are gonna review, guys. I kind of just got a ton of stuff just rolling out right now. A bunch of old stuff getting posted on the YouTube channel. So it's like, man, what's new? What's old? Whatever. But what we're reviewing today, I can't remember if it's gonna be Spit and Image. No, we already did Spit and Image. Already reviewed that. I forget what comes next in the timeline. I know the timeline was, I think, Sizzle Pie and let's go to the Spotify. Let's see, Spotify, area season pegs. Quick way to find me on Spotify. Okay, where is albums? So around this time, uh, like I said, just kind of continuing the story of wherever I left off with Spit and Image. Spit and Image was me kind of rapping about. Can I just do all? Can we just look at the entire discography? Does it have to be? Oh, here we go. Show all. Here we go. Boom. So I think this will show the order. We got to go way back. Uh, okay, yeah. So Spit and Image came out, and then I was recording with these guys, Amity and my buddies Jorgen and Chris, super talented musicians, by the way, ridiculously talented dudes and great dudes too. At the time, though, I was a bit too egotistical, still coming up in the thing and just not seeing my shortcomings maybe in music, but these two projects, there's a few good songs Sizzle Pie had, and I was going through a breakup, and it was kind of like this first taste of like getting into a creative field. I remember making some of these records, and me and Jorgen made this song "I Don't Want It" together, and then Marcus Blake was one of Chris's buddies. Um, and there was a super talented producer in the mix too. His name was Jeremy. So, and then we had this cute girl, Danielle. Danielle. She was kind of the mix, which I down the road, ended up dating a bit, and she's a good girl, man, super super sweet girl. Um, and we got on. We were just two weirdos, but anyway, this was like such an interesting time. It was so much fun because we were like all on this boat of music together, and we were all just equally in the same spots roughly where maybe one guy had like 200 listeners, one guy had like 300, one guy had 40 listeners, and it was just like we're all these hungry musicians just all working together and trying. Hey man, I learned about this thing. Hey man, I learned about this. Hey, here's some beats over here. Hey, I'm gonna send you this. Let's produce together. Sometimes Chris would fly from Seattle down to Boulder to meet up with Jorgen, and then I would drive up to Denver, or from Denver to Boulder to meet up with them. And man, it was just such a fun time. Like, Danielle, she had the camera, so she would do some video work and take some photos, and it was just such an interesting, such a fun time, man. Yeah, so that was the Sizzle Pie era, and same with the competition. Then me and Marcus Blake, he sent me this record, Same Phone Who Dis, and he actually had a verse on it. I was kind of a dick to him. Sorry, Marcus, man. Still love you, dude. But I went off on this record. Like this record is me just rapping nuts. Like, and he had a really good hook, and I was like, dude, let's just leave it at that. Let's just hook me rapping, hook, we're done. Like, and that's what we ended up doing. And so he did the hook, I did the verse, and then he did the last hook. And man, that record is like, I'm gonna listen because it's an oldie but a goldie. And then me and Jorgen, we got this record. I don't want to. I really, man, Jorgen's such a talented musician. He was by far like the most talented out of that group. Um, maybe I was the most hardworking, but undeniably Jorgen was the most talented. Undeniably, like that kid, his like I'm a nasty producer. I would say he's an even better producer than myself. Um, or certainly our production is like on par, but where he's really just talented is just his vocal melodies, and dude's got a voice of an angel. So yeah, he was the guy you just send records to, and he'd send you something back super quick, and like man, it was fire every fucking time. So it was a really fun era between the Sizzle Pie, like the competition, and kind of bleeding into Heartbreak Hotel. That era started to die a little bit right around Aries season for me, just for whatever reason, just whether it was like ego issues, young musicians or whatever. But I'll talk about before we get to that bit in the story, I'll just kind of cap it here at the competition in Sizzle Pie, because it was, and then I think this cover came from my buddy Sterling, who flew out to Seattle, and he saw this restaurant. He's like, man, you should use that as an album cover one day. I was like, that is sick. So that's actually how it all happened. And then my ex lived in Seattle, so it kind of just worked out as like this project for her, that was about her, but like, it just all worked out that way. And the competition is this cute baby photo of me just taking a shit. So like, you know what I mean? So, good times, man. Super good times.